Welcome to Rays of Hope, where inspiration meets possibilities. Join us on this journey as we explore videos that illuminate the path to positivity, resilience, and success. Did you know that some childhood experiences can quietly shape who we become as adults? Two such experiences are parentification and abandonment. Parentification happens when a child takes on adult responsibilities, either by managing household tasks, instrumental, or by being a parent's emotional confidant, emotional. Abandonment, whether physical, like a parent leaving, or emotional, feeling disconnected despite a parent's presence, also leaves a lasting mark. These experiences are more common than we might think, and understanding them is crucial. They can significantly impact how individuals relate to others and manage life's challenges later on. We'll explore these different forms and how they influence adult behaviors and emotional well-being. The many faces of childhood parentification. Parentification isn't a single experience, but rather a spectrum of ways a child might step into adult roles. This often happens because a parent is unable or unavailable to fulfill their responsibilities. Understanding these different forms helps us see the full impact on a child's development and their long-term well-being. Instrumental parentification, taking on adult responsibilities. Imagine a child who regularly cooks dinner for their siblings, handles all the grocery shopping, or even manages household bills. This is instrumental parentification. It involves a child assuming practical, day-to-day tasks that are typically the domain of adults. These scenarios arise when a parent might be dealing with illness, addiction, mental health issues, or simply an overwhelming workload. Consider these common examples. Household manager. A child becomes responsible for cleaning, cooking, and maintaining the home. Caregiver for siblings. An older child takes on the primary caregiving role for younger brothers or sisters, including feeding, bathing, and homework help. Financial handler. A child is tasked with paying bills, managing budgets, or even finding ways to earn money for the family. While these actions might seem helpful on the surface, they come with a heavy cost. The child loses out on their own childhood. They miss out on playtime, school activities, and simply being a child, free from adult worries. This constant pressure can lead to chronic stress, anxiety, and a feeling of being overwhelmed. Emotional parentification, bearing the parental burden. Beyond practical tasks, parentification can also take an emotional toll. Emotional parentification occurs when a child becomes a parent's confidant, mediator, or primary source of emotional support. This often happens when a parent lacks a stable support system or struggles with their own emotional regulation. The child steps into a role far beyond their years, absorbing the parent's anxieties and problems. Think about situations like these. The confidant. A child listens to a parent's marital problems, financial worries, or personal struggles, offering advice or comfort. The mediator. A child acts as a go-between for arguing parents, trying to keep the peace. The emotional regulator. A child feels responsible for a parent's happiness, walking on eggshells to avoid upsetting them. The weight of emotional parentification can be profound. Children in these roles learn to suppress their own feelings and needs to prioritize their parents' emotional well-being. This can lead to a blurred sense of self, difficulty forming healthy boundaries in future relationships, and a deep sense of loneliness. They might struggle to identify their own emotions later in life, having spent so long focusing on someone else's. The profound impact of childhood abandonment. Childhood abandonment, in its various forms, casts a long shadow over a person's life. It's more than just a memory. It's an experience that can deeply alter how a child perceives themselves, others, and the world. This section will explore the different ways abandonment can show up and the lasting effects it has on a child's growth and sense of who they are. Physical abandonment, the absence of a caregiver. When a parent physically leaves or is simply absent from a child's life, it creates what's known as physical abandonment. This can happen through various situations, like a parent moving away, incarceration, or even death. For a child, this sudden void brings immediate feelings of fear and confusion. Where did they go? Why aren't they here? These unanswered questions often lead to a profound sense of rejection. Imagine being a young child and realizing the person you depend on most is no longer there. This experience can trigger a deep-seated belief that they are not worthy of love or care. This belief often makes it hard to form secure connections later in life. Children who experience physical abandonment might struggle with trust issues. Finding it difficult to trust that others will stay or be there for them. Fear of rejection. Constantly worrying that people might leave them. Attachment problems. Struggling to form healthy, lasting bonds with others. These feelings can stay with someone well into adulthood, impacting their relationships and their overall confidence. Emotional abandonment. Feeling invisible and unseen. Emotional abandonment is different because a parent might be physically present but still absent in a crucial way. This happens when a parent is neglectful, unresponsive to a child's feelings, or simply indifferent. The child's natural needs for validation, comfort, and a strong connection go unmet. Even though the parent is there, the child feels invisible, unheard, and unloved. Consider a child who tries to share a story from school, but their parent is always distracted or dismissive. Or a child who is upset but receives no comfort or understanding. These repeated experiences teach the child that their emotions and needs don't matter. They might learn to suppress their feelings, believing it's not safe to express them. The impact of emotional abandonment can be just as damaging as physical absence. Children often develop low self-worth, feeling like they are not important or valuable, difficulty expressing emotions, struggling to understand and communicate their feelings, anxiety and depression, developing mental health challenges from a lack of emotional support. This type of abandonment can leave a deep scar, making it challenging for individuals to feel truly connected and understood by others, even in supportive relationships. Long-term repercussions on adult relationships and well-being. Childhood experiences, whether of intense responsibility or profound absence, don't just disappear. They weave themselves into the fabric of adult life, quietly shaping our relationships, our sense of self, and our mental health. It's like an old song playing in the background. You might not always notice it, but it influences your mood. For those who experienced parentification or abandonment, these tunes can create significant challenges long after childhood ends. Challenges in forming secure attachments. When you grow up feeling neglected or carrying too much responsibility, it changes how you learn to connect with others. Think of it like trying to build a stable house on shaky ground. Your early experiences teach you certain lessons about trust and closeness, which then show up in your adult relationships. People who faced parentification or abandonment often find themselves struggling with difficulty trusting others. It's hard to believe someone will truly be there for you when past experiences taught you otherwise. This can lead to keeping people at a distance. Fear of intimacy. Getting too close can feel risky. There might be a deep-seated worry about being hurt or abandoned again if you let someone in fully. Unhealthy dependency. Sometimes, the opposite happens. You might become overly reliant on others, seeking the validation or care you missed as a child, which can strain relationships. These patterns aren't about being bad at relationships. They're about past wounds still influencing how you interact with the world today. Stay tuned for part 2, where we'll dive into childhood abandonment and the lasting impact it can have. Thank you for joining us on this uplifting journey with Rays of Hope. Please comment, like, share, and subscribe to stay tuned for more videos that spark hope and empowerment. Until next time, keep shining brightly. Thank you for watching.